Boy, shout out to Clarence, true patriot. Scotus got common sense, baby. We're gonna get it, Jack. Crying in his bowl of Apple Jacks. It might just be a landslide come November. Oh man, yeah, come on, patrons. We gonna just go and start boogieing right now. Y'all move your shoulders like that. Move your shoulders like that. Come on now, move them, move left, right. Come on, kick it left, right. Cause y'all see it, man. Suit, no tie. You know it's gonna be a good video when Rick got the suit on with no tie. I'm trying to tell you, that's gonna be like our new thing. Suit, no tie. Yes, indeed. I got the suit on. I'm presidential today, baby. Yeah. But let's get into it. Let me stop acting a fool. I got to act like I got to get professional, have ethics, morals. You know. Act your age, Rick. Inhale, exhale. There we go. But this one's coming from my brother Doug, man. And y'all know Doug loves our channel. He does an amazing job. Make sure y'all go down below and check my brother out, man. But we got some more news. And I can't wait to jump straight into this one, y'all. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Join the family, man. Happy 4th. We spread love. We have fun. We keep it real. And we do not sugarcoat on this channel, man. Salute and love to my brothers and sisters around the world. Shout out to them beautiful patriots, baby. We're riding. And that truck's riding good, I tell you that. That truck's riding good. Let's jump into it.
Did you catch it? Hidden in the Trump versus USA immunity claim, Clarence Thomas shots fired, way off topic, against Garland over his appointment of Jack Smith.
And hey, we're going to catch... Hey, you two fellas, hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Yes, you, Jack and Merrick, y'all, hands behind your back, fellamen.
This is bad news for Jack Smith. I think Clarence Thomas has telegraphed everything. We're going to go all the way back to 30 years ago today was his Supreme Court nomination. I'm going to show you that footage, something I've never seen before. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the Happy Patriots are. We're huge fans of Clarence Thomas. We are not fans of Jack Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President.
That's him thanking George Herbert Walker Bush, G.H.W. Bush. Here's 30 years ago today, President Bush nominated Clarence Thomas to the U.S. Supreme Court. Justice Thomas is an American hero and our greatest justice, as he said 30 years ago today, quote, only in America. You're going to see his humility here. Clarence Thomas cries in this video clip. Watch Thomas's beautiful and heartfelt remarks on July 1st, 1991.
As a child, I could not dare dream that I would ever see the Supreme Court, not to mention be nominated to it. Indeed, my most vivid childhood memory of the Supreme Court was the Impeach Earl Warren signs which lined Highway 17 near Savannah. I didn't quite understand who this Earl Warren fellow was, but I knew he was in some kind of trouble.
That's Clarence Thomas remembering his childhood. If any of you ever want to read a book, read it. My Grandfather's Son by Clarence Thomas. He reads the audiobook. It's amazing. He goes into his childhood. This guy came from dirt, no money, freezing to death. He was even an oyster farmer. He would walk out in the mud and try and get oysters just for pennies. He was from absolute poverty, absolute zero education. We had people who cared for him. And that's what made the difference. And I think it is amazing. I love him.
That's what it's all about, man. We love stories like that too, man. Gotta get it out the mud, man. You know? Some people don't make it out, man. It's hard, for real. It is hard, boy. A lot of y'all, you know, from getting it out the mud. Came from nothing, you know? Woo! That sends chills down my back, man. I like the way Doug put a little, you know what I'm saying? Put a little onto it, you know what I'm saying?
Here's Benjamin Weingarten. Justice Thomas launches a legal missile at AG Merrick Garland. What's he talking about here? We're going to read from the actual Supreme Court document. It is difficult to see how the special counsel has an office, quote, established by law as required by the Constitution. When the Attorney General appointed the special counsel, Jack Smith, he did not identify any statute that clearly creates such an office. See, this goes back to the fourth branch of government that gets removed with Chevron. See Department of Justice order, nor did he rely on a state statute granting him the authority to appoint officers as he deems fit, as the heads of some other agencies have. Instead, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, relied upon several statutes of a general nature. Okay, now I'm going to go into that footnote real quick, just because it's interesting to me. To be sure, a few presidents have appointed special prosecutors without pointing to any express statutory authorization. See General A.T. Eastland, Ethics, Politics, and Independent Counsel. But this court has no occasion to review the constitutionality of those prosecutors' authority. In fact, Congress gave the Attorney General the power to appoint additional officers as he deems necessary, but only for the Bureau of Prisons. As Milt Friedman used to say, ignore everything before the but. Okay? But special counsel's only for the Bureau of Prisons, back to Clarence Thomas 30 years ago.
I thank all of those who have helped me along the way and who've helped me to this point and this moment in my life, especially my grandparents who are my mother, and the nuns, all of whom were adamant that I grow up to make something of myself.
I'm choking up. Notice he did not mention on that list of people his dad. His dad was, by the way, he mentions that in his book. You got to read the book. I'm not going to spoil it for you. My grandfather's son. That's why he thanked his grandfather.
I got to go check out the book. Y'all comment down below if any of y'all got to check out the book. I got to go check the book out now. Salute the Doug. He's motivating me. So we definitely going to go check it out now.
His grandfather raised him as if he was his dad. Okay. None of the statutes cited by the Attorney General appear to create an office for the special counsel, and especially not with the clarity typical of past statutes used for that purpose. The president is further authorized to direct to appoint special counsel who have charge and control of the prosecution of such litigation. Section 509 and 510 are generic provisions concerning the functions of the Attorney General and his ability to delegate authority to, quote, any other officer, employee, or agency. Basically, the job's too big for Merrick Garland, so he's allowed to appoint sections of it to someone else. It contemplates an attorney specially appointed by the Attorney General under law, emphasized, thereby suggesting that such an attorney's office must have already been created by some other law, emphasis added. As for 533, it provides that the Attorney General may appoint officials to detect and prosecute crimes against the United States, emphasis added. It is unclear whether an official is equivalent to an officer as used by the Constitution. Considering the meaning of officer, regarding this provision would be a curious place for Congress to hide the creation of an office for special counsel. It's placed in a chapter concerning the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not the separate chapters concerning U.S. attorneys or the now lapsed independent counsel. To be sure, the court gave passing reference to the cited statutes as supporting the appointment of the special prosecutor Jack Smith in United States versus Nixon. I'm sorry, not Jack Smith, but the one that went after Nixon back in 1974. But it provides no analysis of the provision's text. Perhaps there's an answer for why these statutes create an office for the special counsel. We'll start with that but in a second.
I also thank my wonderful wife and my wonderful son. In my view, only in America could this have been possible.
Only in America. What a great patriot. I also think it's funny that he brings up Ginny. You know, he drives a Winnebago, a motorhome around the U.S. and goes and parks in camping areas where people don't recognize him. They don't know who he is. And he loves being with the people. In one case, he met a racist who went up to him and just assumed because he was black, he was driving for someone else. And they said, "Who are you driving for?" And he said, "Oh, Miss Ginny." He's talking about his wife. I love it. Prosecution proceeds. We should at least provide a fulsome explanation of why that is so, even if the special counsel has a valid office. Questions remain as to whether the attorney general filled that office in compliance with the appointments clause. For example, it must be determined whether the special counsel, Jack Smith, is a principal or inferior officer. If the former, his appointment is invalid because the special counsel has not nominated by presidential and confirmed by the Senate. So he's a lesser officer, meaning he cannot prosecute as principal officers must be. Even if he's an inferior officer, the attorney general could appoint him without presidential nomination and senatorial confirmation, only if, quote, Congress by law vests the appointment in the attorney general as a head of department. So the special counsel's appointment is invalid unless a statute created the special counsel's office and gave the attorney general the power to fill it, quote, by law, unquote. This allows the Congress to stay in control of these special prosecutors. Whether the special counsel's office was established by law is not trifling technically. If Congress has not reached a consensus that a particular office should exist, the executive lacks the power to unilaterally create and then fill that office like they did with Jack Smith. Given that the special counsel purports to wield the executive branch's power to prosecute and consequences are weighty, our Constitution, separation of powers, including the separation of the powers to create and fill offices, is, quote, the absolutely central guarantee of a just government, unquote, and the liberty that it sources for us all. There is no prosecution that can justify imperiling it. That's the clarity. Here's the last clip of Clarence Thomas 30 years ago.
I look forward to the confirmation process and an opportunity to be of service once again to my country and to be an example to those who are where I was and to show them that indeed there is hope. Thank you again, Mr. President.
Yes, indeed, there is hope. And that hope to get Jack Smith, those wheels started turning 30 years ago with Clarence Thomas's nomination. Little did he know that he was about to go into that committee where Joe Biden nailed him and just persecute him with what Clarence Thomas calls the high-tech lynching. I'm dug in.
Oh, boy. Man, what an amazing put together from Doug, man. Amazing put together. Clarence Thomas, a true patriot, y'all. True patriot. Read some of these comments. Jack has no power without Garland. Jail time for both. Oh, boy. Someone says, I caught Clarence Thomas' statement earlier. I love his true application of the Constitution. Thank God for him. A good, honorable American. Bless you, Clarence. Thank you, sir, for your unwavering support of the amazing republic. The problem with Jack Smith is he was an ordinary citizen. He cannot prosecute because he was not an appointed judge. Had Garland picked any nominated judge, there wouldn't be an issue. His appointment was illegal. Man. Well, boy, I'm so glad y'all sent me this one to check out. Huge shout out to my brother Joseph, man, for sending this one over. You know, Jack Smith got a significant defeat over Trump's immunity claim, but his defeat was engineered from long ago. Jack Smith was illegally appointed, and Clarence Thomas just gave the warning in an opinion. But again, shout out to my brother Joseph for sending this one over. And we're having fun, man. We're bringing out amazing content, updates, keeping it real. And I can't wait to November, man. And as you can see, we're taking win after win after win, man. And there's still people that need to be held accountable. Hands behind your back, man. You know, we're living in the biggest history yet, you guys. You know, especially with all the corruption and things we've seen in this year alone, and how a lot of stuff has been exposed. Woo! Boy, like I tell y'all, man, for the good or for the bad, the truth must come to the light, baby. Truth must come to the light. And we got some more big wins coming up, man. Hey, I love y'all. Happy 4th. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.